Welcome to America, land of the free. Come on, boy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Keep It Real with Carlo. I got a blind bandit with me. He's the funniest. He's the funniest. Not laughing at nothing blind, but he's just a funny dog. But the fact that he is a little impaired with his vision, that don't help him none. He just bumped into everything. He's so resilient. But yeah, it's my man right here. Blind Bandit, aka Saint Bernard. I call him that because he kind of got the markings of a Saint Bernard. So there you go. So that's Saint Bernard. We're gonna get some stretches out. We're gonna say good morning and keep it real. So used to grabbing my mat and everything, so this is gonna be the last day we rock without the mat. So on that note, we're gonna say thank you to all the nurses, all the caregivers. Once again, this week was just a real shout out. I got so many friends and family that's really out here doing good for others. So many. They make a living out of it. That ain't a bad thing, but yet still, don't lose sight of the big picture, doing good to help others. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you happen to get paid for that type of stuff. That's just life. But with that being understood, we're gonna get some stretches out. And I wanted to bring that out first about the nurses and whatnot, because I kind of wanted to segue back to last week. Last week we were talking about certain addictions and whatnot. So, obviously, about last night. So, we had to talk about addictions because about last night. Multiple addictions. Food addiction, drug addiction. Some people addicted to money. I'm talking about they working 80 hours a week. I'm talking about everybody got their own addiction. Just understand that. Just understand that. It ain't no judgment. It's just conversation. So obviously we starting off different. Y'all do whatever y'all do. I know we normally start off this way, but like I say, let your body just move you. Let your body move you. Everything ain't gonna be no freaking. It ain't gonna happen like that. Some stuff you just gotta do and then work it out, figure it out. So whatever the case, about last night. About addiction, multiple addictions, food, sex, drugs, work, boom, boom, boom. So, my addiction that I still have to fight with is sex addiction. Now, I don't want to get you twisted. There's levels of sex addiction. It could be sex addiction where you gotta have sex all day, 4 or 5 times a day. You gotta have sex addiction where you gotta have sex every day. Or you can have sex addiction which is my level of sex addiction. I know I don't have a woman, and I know I shouldn't be having sex because I understand all scriptures. Yet and still, I have sex. I ain't gotta have it all day. I ain't gotta have it all week. But every now and again, I let my addiction get the best of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing I have to live. It's just something I choose to have in. And there's always consequences to having an addiction. I don't care if you smoke the pipe once a month or twice a year, whatever. That's still an addiction. You might not be as bad off as you was, but just understand your levels of truth. And that's the main thing about getting better, is to have an understanding of the level of truth. So I understand my truth. I know that until I find a wife, I'm supposed to be out here humping and grinding. So the fact that I can't totally stop, even though it ain't every day, even though it ain't sometimes every week, whatever the case is, it's still something that I'm not able to totally stop. So it's an addiction. So with that being said, what about last night? So All right, let's do some leg lifts. I'm gonna hold these weights just to hold them, but we're gonna do some leg lifts. So, last night, this week, we moving. We breaking all kind of barriers. We uplifting black and brown men. We educating and enlightening everyone who can hear my voice. So we done had a prosperous week. So I'm okay with a little bit of attention and affection. Now, mind you this, I ain't just had no prosperous week. You understand? I done had some prosperous weeks. So I say that to say this. Every now and again, when I go grab something for myself, if I frequent one of my friends' boutiques or I frequent something, I might buy something and it is not for me, period. I don't wear dresses and shit, but I may pick up something and I may not have no one in mind. You understand what I'm saying? It was a good deal. I know most people would appreciate a blessing, even though it wasn't per se for them, but you're here, I got something I wanted to share with you. That's how I am. I'm gonna tell you, anybody, any cleaning service, anyone who helped me out with organizing, they'll tell you. I got a closet full of clothes with tags on it. That is not for me. Shoes for kids and all kind of stuff. It's just a blessing that God has allowed me to be able to have some stuff and share with other people. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's a good thing. So, about last night, I'm conversating with this individual. I consider us homie, lover, friends. You understand? I'm not in no position to alter that. I'm gonna always be a friend because I'm an honest person. So we could be homie lovers too because we grown. So this individual, I don't know if things going good or bad for her, or I don't know if things going good or bad for me. But whatever the case, homie, lover, friend ain't good enough no more. So I kind of sense it's an attitude of coming anyway. Because when the conversations start off, we've been knowing each other for years. What are we? Are we the same thing we was before you asked that question? Well, if I say we friends, that's offensive. We only friends. We only friends. We've been screwing and kicking it for almost 2 years. I'm like, okay. Now I'm supposed to get on my knees or something? So when I say we friends, and I mean that, I got gifts. I got whatever I can do to make your life better. You come over here, I'll give you gas, I'll give you food, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to have no inconvenience fucking with me. And I'm gonna break you off properly. So with all that being said, and that's the problem, breaking them off properly. Now, you wanna be, me being homie, lover, friends is offensive. So, before we get to that, I can already sense, that it ain't really nothing I can do because I can't lie to you and say we finna be more than homie, lover, friends. And obviously, you don't understand or appreciate the value of a friend. I ain't never gonna say we just friends. I love to have somebody that's really my friend because a friend wants you to win. They want to be supportive. They don't want to see you a friend. We only friends. I'm like, boo, you must ain't got a good circle of friends because a friend is something valuable. I consider myself your friend. You talk about only friends. I'm like, what you talking about? You must ain't got no good friends because the friend is something valuable. Whatever the case, homie, lover, friends too. You get some extra points. So we're gonna keep kicking it. So I'm a little upset because I say we friends. The same thing we was before you asked that question is what I figure we still is. Homie, lover, friends. I like you. You cool as a fan. I'm in motion. I'm in straight motion. So I ain't that guy right now, unless it's that gal right now, and that ain't the situation right now. So I got some time off and whatnot, and we talking about, you know, instead of just always homie lover friend situations, you know, we want to do dinner type situations. So I agree to dinner and whatnot. I'm like, oh man, I look at the individual and I see I got a beautiful sundress I just picked up the other day because I was out getting something for myself. You seem like this will fit you. I offer it. First, I don't want nothing nobody else wore. So I let that go by because I can respect that. So then you know, of course, now you see tags all in your face, but you're still unhappy. I wouldn't wear white if it was for me. Ew. So now I gotta say, well, I didn't buy it just with your thought in mind. I'm a boss, boo. And I buy stuff and I give it out. I wanted to share with you, but you upset because I ain't go to the store particularly with you in mind. You upset. And Mom was upset. Now, I don't think it was upset because me offering the gifts. I think it was upset because I'm like, see, like you friend zoning me? Well, learn what it is to be a good friend. You can't even accept a gift without thinking it's supposed to, unappreciative. You don't even know what a friend is in my concepts. But, you know, you don't have to accept nothing either because I ain't going to force you to know you. I just told you, I got a freaking closet full of stuff with tags on it. Somebody come over, a bag, a kid, or anybody, a stranger, goddammit, you look like you might like this. And that's just a blessing to be able to do stuff like that, because that's a blessing to me. So, with that being said, addictions will make you still do bull crap, because that was the whole point I was trying to make. The reason they be telling you don't be having sex when you ain't married, because you be having those, you be them soul ties. People be more attached to you than you are to them. Sometimes they become delusional because you give them some attention. Now they may believe that it's something more than what it is, and you ain't never lied to them, and now they mad because you ain't lied to them. If you ain't got no man right now, what make you think I'm the one? I'm on some real major boss type stuff for real. I could be a homie lover friend, which I'm slowing down on that because I see that just sharing time and energy can be detrimental, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to realize when you're dealing with people, they got emotions too, you know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of hurt that they upset because I want to be friends, and you know, you want somebody to wipe you, and that's cool, but you know, I ain't that person, at least not right now in my life. But I wish we could have still been homie lover friends, but you know, I want you to find what you're looking for. And that's the honest to God truth. I really want you to find what you're looking for. But, so, my little abstaining from sex still going on. Whether it's my choice or not. Or get bad when you trying to do something. It's just weird and it's meant. So with all that being said, I had to touch bases on that sex addiction and all kind of addiction, and I wanted to share it like that because some people think, oh, I don't smoke crack every day. I ain't no addict. I don't do potty every day. I ain't no addict. I don't go to the buffet every day. I ain't no addict. So I just share that to say it, you know, just sometimes you ain't got to do shit every day. You ain't got. Sometimes one time be enough to take your body in. Period. One time you do some stuff, it be the one time you bust your heart, one way or another, whether it's a heart attack from over cholesterol or gone from offending. So there's levels to this stuff. So I just want to touch on that addiction stuff and just let you know, I ain't by yourself. I'm dealing with demons and dragons and and wizards and witches and all kind of stuff is real. And with that being said, do y'all research today. I told y'all tomorrow we're gonna drop some magic. Tomorrow Sunday we're gonna drop some magic. So do two things if you can. Do one thing. Google the Roman pagan god Ophiuchus, and then if you got some extra time, ask Google, is the image that you see as Jesus Christ, is that any kind of true replication of the Christ? Ask yourself some true questions, because these questions need to be answered. That's just common sense. You don't want to know who you're worshiping? Because Google gonna tell you, no, that ain't Jesus. That ain't nobody's Jesus. Keep playing around. Keep playing around because it feels good and you want to dance. If Google tell you that ain't nobody Jesus, what I gotta tell you for? And it ain't no white and black thing. I'm gonna hit you with some real truth. Just because he happened to be white, which ain't Jesus, there's more to it. There's way more to it. Way more to it. Because y'all, they want to get the simple-minded. It's white and black. No. That image supposed to represent a God. And if it ain't Jesus, what God is, you better wake up. Wake your ass up. If it ain't Jesus, and that image representing a God, and it ain't Jesus, you better wake your ass up. And I excuse the French, but it's so serious. It's so truthful. Ask your Google what the heck that image is. They tell you it ain't no Jesus, I shouldn't have to repeat it. So with all that being said, we're gonna do some more leg lifts. We're gonna try to do some leg extensions. I'm gonna put these down. They might not be them boys might not be the cleanest. I'll be out there with them dogs. Might be having some dog shit on my slippers. I ain't gonna go so fast, but yeah, hold your arms up if you can. Just extend yourself. Just anything that you can do extra is gonna help out. I promise you. This right here is extending your lungs. So it's giving you the feeling that you in a long, like you running, like you extending your run, but you ain't doing it but sitting in your chair, extending your body, allowing your ligaments to stretch, allowing more air to come into your lungs because you hyperextended. Now if you take your time and you try to stretch your leg out as straight as you can, that's hyperextending that leg, and that's definitely gonna give you more than just lifting it up like this. You know, everything, try to be intentional with what you're doing. Yeah, this gonna be a beautiful weekend. At least that's the plan. I got a lot of energy. I ain't break no back last night, so I got a little energy. I'm gonna go get to the bag today. Speaking of that, I do got some financial stuff I gotta do. Lord. So yeah, everybody work on them addictions, man. Don't be trying to play around like you ain't got no addiction. What you need to do is find out what it is. And if it's a good thing, maximize it. Some people are addicted to getting to the bag. If it's affecting you at the bag so much that you don't know your kids, then your addiction it's detrimental. It's detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and everybody wants the bag. Everybody wants the bag, but the system designed to destroy the family. Black and brown people underpaid compared to white men. You gotta work just as hard just to still be behind. And now you're taking time away from your family, time away from your kids, and they have to understand because they have to eat, but they don't understand taxation with no representation. And half of you don't either. So Also, I know this. All y'all know about change. All of y'all know about change. You seeing me change in your face? I'm gonna show you some more change in your face. I hope you riding with the movement. Ain't nobody trying to keep believing talking about, oh, I was misled by the Romans. I'm finna keep being misled by the Romans. I was misled by the Europeans. I'm finna keep being slave to the Europeans, free slaves. I'ma keep believing Adam and Eve is a European. And you can't see you being misled all the way. All the way. Whenever they start off with Adam and Eve being European, and that's an easy fact check. That's an easy fact check. Every Google gonna tell you, ask any Google, what the first man might look like. Period. And then you go talk to the Pope and see what he got to say. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Y'all, we no longer gonna be sleep. All that sleep stuff is ridiculous, man. And it's sad too, cause a lot of y'all walking around here like zombies, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be that way. I used to be fucking addicted to motherfucking freaking cocaine. Walking around, my kids didn't even know if I had a soul on the inside. Walking around like a straight zombie. And I had to go through that to understand what a zombie looked like. I had to go through that to understand what a zombie looked like. So now when I see people following these pagan entities blindly in the name of our Lord and Savior, the Son of Nazareth, the Son of the Motherland, the Son of the Most High, when I see my people following this pagan entity, this Roman pagan God, who, if you did the research, definition worse than Satan, the devil, that's Satan's uncle. That is no white man on that image. That is a demon on that image. And it ain't hard to Google it. All you gotta do is Google it. They're gonna take you straight to who put that demon out there, that 6th century Roman king. Evil, demonistic bastard. And I ain't apologetic for that. I use that phrase. So all you gotta do is do your research. And after you see all of that, you still wanna worship a European demon god? Because they calling him Jesus, using Jesus' story, but afraid to put the color on the brother. You want to worship that crap, and you think the Jesus, the Son of Nazareth, the Son of the Motherland, the Son of the Most High, gonna be cool with you? And then you gonna try to say it's all about love? You done defamed this man's ethnicity. You done put a Roman pagan god in his shoes. You done stripped his mother from her ethnicity. Y'all better wake up. If you can't understand, that's straight devil. Straight devil. Only the devil would defame the Son of God. Only the devil would play them type of games. It don't take no genius. And I ain't no genius. I ain't no genius. I done Googled and found out some truths that I'm sharing. Google it yourself. Open up your eyes. Wake up. Disconnect from that American machine that's promoting all this white supremacy based on white lies, based on Roman mythology, European mythology. No facts at all. No facts at all. The whole Christian religion is a myth. Noah, black. Adam, black. Jesus, black. Black, blackity, black. Blackity, black. Every brother in the Bible, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. What you talking about? Which one of them names sound European? Quit playing. And y'all worshiping this stuff blindly. You think it has no consequence? Especially now that you got the truth. Now that's one thing you ain't got on you. You can't, I don't care. New wave Christian, new world Christian, modern day Christian. Now you got the truth, and you can Google it yourself, and it's gonna tell you that ain't nobody's Jesus. That ain't nobody's Jesus Christ. That's in every Catholic church. That's in every Jehovah's Witness magazine. That's in every Baptist pamphlet. That is nobody's Jesus. Yeah, we're gonna give you some more facts Sunday. I can't hit you with the whole thing. I need you to allow Jehovah and Jesus into your soul. That's why I said we're gonna wait till Sunday to really hit y'all with some real sad truth. But do your research. Google Aquarius. Google is that image that you worshiping that's called Jesus. Google, is that even close to what Jesus looked like? And then wake up. Wake up. Ain't no love in a lie. Anybody tell you it's love in a lie, you can't. I was looking at that motherfucker just like looked at you. What? You trying to tell me there's some good out of you telling me this lie? Oh, who is good for? Good for racist Europeans. It ain't good for God's people because you don't whitewashed all of God's people. So it ain't good for the truth and it ain't good for God's people. It's the devil's plan to suppress God's people with this whitewashed Catholic Roman mythology based on the true Son of Nazareth, the Son of the motherland, the Son of the Most High. You done stole his whole identity. Woo! And you think it wasn't no consequences to that? You think you was gonna get away with that? The Son of God? You think you're gonna put a demon on his name and think the truth was never gonna come out? That ain't Elvis, people. That ain't a Billy Ocean. That's a demon. It's supposed to be a God. It ain't Jesus. So you switch it up. It's supposed to be a God. That image in every church, in every pamphlet, supposed to be a God. But Google gonna tell you it ain't Jesus. So tell me what you worship. Now whoever that is, can't be my friend, because they know my office hours. At least my friends know my office hours. We're gonna do some stretches in this chair. Oh yeah. Alright, we're gonna do some stretches in this chair. Side to side stretches. Maybe a couple turns. Yup. Couple turns like that. Woo. Woo. All right, we're gonna put a little icing on the cake. You see how that stretching and stuff get all that air up out of there. Now I did want to mention this. I weighed myself this morning, so even though my muscle mass is increasing somewhat, my fat is still decreasing. So I'm still at a plateau. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gaining no weight. I'm not losing weight. You know what I'm saying? So you see what I'm doing every day. I'm constantly working on my muscles and whatnot. So I'm strengthening my muscles, but I'm still burning fat. So it's just plateauing. So that's just something to understand. So when you plateauing, don't give up on your doggone self. Just understand that's a consequence of life. I know where I'm not plateauing at. I feel amazing. I feel amazing. Pains that I used to have are limited. My mobility has increased 40-50% in the last 12 months. I had to throw in that for all y'all who think your physical therapy, you do it for 6 weeks and then you done. Nah, they tell you need physical therapy, then you need physical therapy. In order for you to get true success, you need to be consistent with your physical therapy. You can't just do this, oh, I feel better, then everything's stiffening up, tight back up, and now you worse off. Your doctor should tell you that, but they can't. Insurance ain't gonna pay for it all the time, so they only gonna give you a few months of paid physical therapy. But you gotta have the initiative and the incentive and the will and desire and want to be a success for yourself to continue the process way after the doctor recommended. So that's all, man. And I'm doing this every day. I was recommended physical therapy, and they wasn't wrong. Get your butt in motion. Get in motion, you'll feel better. You'll love yourself more for it. So I hope y'all getting in motion with me. So hate when people say, oh, I work all day, I walk doing work, I do this. Everybody do that. Do something extra. Icing on the cake. Everybody do something. I ain't finna do no icing. You ain't got to. You're gonna have a plain, dull ass cake that don't nobody want. Period. Don't put no icing on it. I don't want no plain ass cake. Excuse my friends. I want a cake with some icing on it. You're gonna have to track me with some icing. I need to know you about that icing. That extra. I want no plain, no icing ass chick. Period. What? I ain't no plain, no icing ass dude. How we gonna mingle? I'm icing and you complaining because I'm getting my icing on your plain cake. It ain't gonna work. I ain't been keeping count of time, but I try to track how my body feels. So to be honest, I ain't really feeling nothing. So I guess this is just a good warm up. I ain't really feeling no burn, so maybe I extend that leg out. Okay. See, every time you ain't gonna feel no burn. Sometimes you just loosening up those tendons. Sometimes you just loosening up those muscles, and that's a good thing. Trust me, yo. Man, after 40, your muscle starts to. Most people, 53% of men die before they 75. That's more than half before they 75. So you could say between 37 and 40, everything downhill from there because you done reached the peak. And if you dead by 75, by the time you hit 40, everything else is down. So with that being understood, do what you got to do to enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be so out of shape that when you start going downhill, you just rolling out of control. And then you're dying too young. You don't make it to 75. You don't make it to 65. Not because of gun violence, not because of car accidents, because of unhealthy living, unhealthy lifestyles, unhealthy choices that you make for yourself. So, I'm gonna figure it out. And like I said, if anything I'm saying seems ungodly to you, I apologize. Because I promise you, I promise you, I ain't sharing nothing but the truth. For the health and benefit of mankind. Definitely uplifting black and brown because we being lied to and discriminated the most because it's just a simple fact of who we are. And the opposition, the devil is the opposition. You can't think you're being oppressed like this because you're not God's people. You can't think you're going through what you're going through because you're not God's people. You're being tested. Don't break under pressure. Get control over your addiction so you can see clearly. Start doing some research so you can get under the bondage of this pagan entity. This is nobody's Jesus. Nobody's Jesus. I mean, it could be your Jesus. Let me rephrase it. It ain't the son of Nazareth, the son of the motherland, the son of the Most High. It ain't him. It ain't him. And to tell you it ain't him, period. It ain't no question it ain't him. You can't Google nothing that say it is him. Everything you Google gonna say, no, that's not Jesus Christ. Yet and still you worship blindly. Woo! Ain't no freaking mercy for nobody goofy. Ain't no mercy for nobody goofy. Ain't no mercy. I don't care what your mama told you, your grandmama told you. I don't care if you was in the 6th century and the king said, it's Jesus. Now you know the truth. It's not Jesus. With all that being understood, you know how we do. You know how we do. I got my boy, the blind Brandon, kicking it with me. I hope this was entertaining. Hope it's informative. If you do some research, it's gonna be informative. Because none of y'all really know about Ophiuchus. So do some research, at least you can say you learned something. None of y'all know that image you worshiping ain't no image of Jesus. If you do some research, you might learn something. And once you do some research and you realize that this image of a God, ain't the true God, and then you confused you worshiping something else. You confused why Americans act the way they act. They brought that demon with them to America. They worshiped that demon when they conquered America. That demon was, ooh, you better look up Ophiuchus. The divine personification of frantic rage, madness, and furious frenzy. You see that right now today, right in Trump's eyes. The divine personification of frantic rage, killing, murdering people in boats without a fair trial, madness, and furious frenzy. Yeah, man, y'all better do some research. I gotta save some information for Sunday because that's just what it is. Stay real, stay strong, stay rough. Tell your mama, tell your grandmama they need to check in tomorrow. Ruff Pupps Kennels on YouTube, 10 o'clock. Be there, be square.